Okay, in this lesson, we're going to learn how to use the shape tool, the rectangle tool, to make different size boxes and shapes. So the rectangle tool is located over on the right-hand side of the toolbox. It's double wide. We notice, though, that the rectangle tool does have a little black triangle in the corner. That means it has nested tools inside of it. This piece here that pops up is technically called a tearaway. If I click on the little arrow, it will pop out and it's now become its own independent palette. If I close this, it's still going to be back in here. So the question is, how do I make a rectangle? Well, you come out to your screen and you start to draw. What if I want to make a square? There's two ways you can do it. You can click once on the screen. That will allow you to type in the exact measurement of the box you're trying to make. Or you can click, hold shift, and drag. That is going to make a proportionate box. You notice right now our box has a gray fill, no stroke. So I'll bring the gray fill to the front, however, get a color for it, add stroke to it. There we go. Now we're starting to build a box. You notice though where the stroke weight is. If I zoom in on this, you'll see we've got this blue line here which represents the actual edge of the box. If I go up to my strokes panel, bring this over here, you've got a line stroke to the center, the inside, or the outside. Depending on where I have it set up, it'll change the dimensions of my square that I just made. So be aware of that. So that was making rectangles. The next thing you want to do is, what about a rounded rectangle? I want to be able to change the radius here. The only way to change the radius is by clicking on the screen once, and then you can change your corner radius and change the amount of curve that takes place there. Next piece is the ellipse. Not holding shift, you're going to make a whole bunch of ovals in life. If you hold shift and drag out, you can make perfect circles. What if I wanted the circle to grow from the center when I make it? So if I get my ellipse tool up, I hold Alt and Shift on the keyboard, you notice the circle grows from the center. If I come in and I select it as an object, you notice the only way that it's selected as an object is when it's got these boundary boxes that pop up. Each one of these is a handle that can be used to adjust the overall size of the shape. What else we got? We've got the polygon tool. Polygon tool. You notice right now it's got a set number of sides. If I hold shift, it will also be proportionate. If I don't hold shift, it still does grow proportionately. But if I want more sides, what I need to do is when I click and drag on my screen, before I let go of the click on the mouse, I use the up key or the down key on the keyboard. It'll increase or decrease the number of sides on my shape. Same thing is true for the star. If I come out here and I use the up key and the arrow key, it will increase or decrease the number of star points. And no one ever uses the flare tool, so we don't have to worry about that. So the question is, how do we manipulate these shapes that we've made? So if I come back up here and I get my ellipse tool, I'm going to make a perfect circle real quick. You notice that a shape is made up of points. A circle's got 4 points. You've got a top, a bottom, a left, and a right. If I take my black arrow and I click on it, I've got these outer boundary boxes. It's a square that shows up. If I take my direct select tool, I come over here and click on a point, you notice I've got these handles that now show up. This is going to allow me to manipulate my shape. If I take on the little handle itself and pull, it will increase or decrease the arc that is between the shapes. So this is how you take a basic shape and turn it into a more complex shape.